Make sure you know Ass About Us made niggas saving money in a miracle, baby.
What's happening, Captain? All right, YouTube, what is up and what is going on, man? As you guys know, it is the Thrift God back in this thing with a brand new sneaker restoration. So as you guys saw recently, your boy purchased these Air Jordan Candy Cane Varsity Red Folk Teens live in the Thrift trenches. And if you guys are anything like me and are Thrift addicts and just go crazy for the deals, you already know that when you come across some Jordan 14s for the price of $14, you gotta go ahead and swipe them bad boys and secure the bag at all times. Now, one downfall with thrifting is a lot of the pieces in there are jacked up, bedraggled, and in absolute garbage condition. And these shits are straight up basura. They're fucking trash, bro. So yeah, on one shoe you have a bunch of paint chipping, yellowation, scratches. You have these dirty ass laces. And then on the other, the previous owner tried to restore these shoes and absolutely did disrespect and disjustice to the Ferrari 550M, which is what these shoes are based off originally. So these shoes dropped in 1999, and I can tell you that these look like they're from 1999, and funny enough, they're only from 2011. So in 7 years, a person managed to absolutely jack these up and then do a shitty ass restoration. You can see all the paint marks. It looks like they used that Billy Madison hit list lipstick to try and restore the midsoles. And they was absolutely tripping with this restoration. So without further ado, I'm gonna try and do it right and tight today and show you guys how I revive and add some life back into a pair of kicks that look absolutely like shit. All right, so let's go ahead and hop, skip, and jump into it, and we'll skirt like the Ferrari these are based off of into this restoration. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys already know that step one is to get your scripper on, and you just gotta prep the shoe for painting. So the first thing you gotta do is just rip the laces out, because the laces are dirty, and we don't save hose, but we do save laces. You feel what I'm saying? So we are gonna preserve these guys. Shout out to all the incoming text messages coming in. But basically, the way that I restore these laces is by actually throwing them into a glass of water, but not just plain water. We gotta make the potion. You guys know I am famous for my lace concoction. It has Dawn dish soap all up in it. And then you also got to pour in a little bit of that bleach mixture. Stir the two together with the laces intermingled, and I'm telling you guys, you have a cocaine lace delight happening all up in that clear cup, bruh. That's how we rocking. That's how we shocking. Restored ass laces. That simple. Now, briefly and quickly, I just had to shout out Angelus for sending me the exclusive hoe trees. Easily an essential for any restoration, but these are dope because they got that spring lever action, and they really just puff up the shoe. They get out a lot of the wrinkles, and they give yourself a nice sturdy surface to prep and paint on. So when the preparatory process actually begins, I'm using the Angelus deglazer. Now all the products are linked in the description, so if you guys would just click the link, grab yourself some gear, and it helps your boy out. You feel me? But basically, I just put them on some cotton swabs and I start scrubbing the living hell out of the shoes. And as you guys can tell, these shoes are bleeding, bruh. It is that time of the month, I suppose, but also the previous owner really did a terrible job painting with the red, and that red was just bleeding absolutely everywhere. But luckily, with any deglazer or nail polish remover, if you guys are on a budget, will remove any of that nasty ass residue that's left over atop the midsole or any other region of the shoe. So if your shit starts bleeding, don't even worry, bruh. We got ourselves some bounty paper towels, you know what I mean? High quality. So right now I'm just going hammerstand and just removing all the rest of the Varsity Red paint that was atop of the midsole and the detailing. And it really is that simple, man. And luckily with the deglazer, it is a lot stronger than nail polish remover, so you don't even have to scrape or fumble around with any accessories to remove the excess little paint residue, because it will all come off with just that soft cotton swab. And right now I'm just rubbing down the upper of the shoe just to remove that weird ass pink concoction of faded ass paint, and it actually really did the job to a T. The only thing was that the actual stitching was a little bit pink, but hey, one for the pink, one for the stank. Overall, it still doesn't look too shabby for daddy, and we still got ourselves a nice surface to twerk with. Just look at the inside. That hoe is clean, bruh. So the next step is obviously to begin the painting process, and I use the Angelus flat white leather acrylic paint. Again, the links to everything you need are in the description, and I just pop the cap on that ass. And as you can tell, man, right now I'm just going stroke game, straight up vicious and delicious with that white crispy albino paint. I'm just hitting the upper and the stitching with a nice little layer. Now you guys are going to want to add about 3 to 4 coats of paint atop your prepped surface, and and that definitely does the trick, especially when there is that low-key pink hue beneath all of the white that I'm adding. Now, a pro tip was actually to get this thumbtack and poke the perforation holes into the upper, that way they didn't fill up with paint and didn't coagulate with that white. So right here, your boy is actually stroking atop the stitching with some watered down paint and just using some finger action all up in there. Yes, ladies, you know I'm handy with the fingers, feel me? Anyways, yeah, I'm just using the, wow, that was inappropriate, guys. I'm really sorry. Take two. So yes, all I am doing is just simply using watered down paint. That way the paint that I applied does not build up atop the stitching and look really gross and like a nasty ass Coke buildup. Now, I also did go ahead and take the liberty to paint on the rubber regions of the shoe. You guys can use a magic eraser and scrub the living shit out of it. However, I definitely did not feel like that was the move for this restoration. It was just my personal opinion, and Angelus also does sell some nice bonding adhesive products that does work well when trying to attach paint to plastic, so that is just the technique I employ. But again, you guys can go hand with the magic rubber eraser, ain't nobody judging. And then again, just to finish off the job, I am of course adding a couple more layers of paint atop the back of the shoe, and again going a little bit lighter on the stitching just because I want the stitching to look bitchin'. Yeah. And as you guys can tell, as the angle changes, that white that was intermingled with the pink is absolutely obliterated by this layer of white paint. So once you start getting to the second and third layer, the little pink residue just goes away like a child in Walmart if you are not an attentive parent. So definitely keep an eye on your babies out there in the trenches, in the stores, because hey, I was lost once too, and it's not cool. And then last but certainly not least, I just want to show off the toe cap one more time because this thing is looking like a greased polar bear. It is so shiny, it's so glossy, and of course is very saucy, and I think it honestly looks quite delicious. And then last and certainly not least, when it comes to painting, I did go ahead and actually add a nice layer of paint atop of the back rubberized region. And actually I added more than one layer. You guys already know, 3 layers all day, 4 if you guys really want to take it to the next level. But yeah, I just use a skilled detail brush just to get in between all the crevasses and actually fill in that yellowed ass nasty looking plastic rubber with some nice fresh crispy cocaine white. And honestly, I definitely do think it looked good. Now, when it comes to actually painting the red, I use just straight up pure red. Now, the candy canes actually have kind of a more magenta red color, but I figured as I layered up the red paint, it does get darker and darker, that it actually look quite nice, and I think I was right overall. And honestly, I didn't get the best shots when I was recording this because I actually had to pick up the shoe, hold it right next to my face, and use a tiny brush just to get all the little detailed areas. But yeah, this is only the first layer of paint I'm adding, and I actually added about 5 coats of red just to make sure that the paint was applied evenly. And of course, you want to add thin coats of paint during any restoration. You want to go over the shoe multiple times and just make sure that it looks as clean as can be. And I definitely do believe this looks more crispy than a damn Frisbee, and it definitely looks like a candy cane in this thing. So we're just going to do a compare and contrast between the two shoes. You guys can already tell there's a slight discrepancy in the color. However, man, a fresh coat of paint definitely works wonders atop an old bedraggled pair of shoe. So there's shoe 1, and there of course is shoe 2. Now I actually went ahead and completed the restoration on the other shoe, and then to finish the job I added some nice acrylic finisher, and then of course the laces are in the shoes. Now if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, $14 for some Jordan 14s. I like the way these came out, and here are the shoes on feet in these streets.
If you looking for the dealer, I got the plug, probably catch him with the reefer. And the mud mouth full of that illegal. And the slugs he be serving for my people. In the club, do you hear me? He got them bitches crazy. Molly, that's his baby. If he think you 12, nigga, he gon' act fugazi. Only Abe Jackson, Grant Franklin, what you pay with. Introduce you to the best, no debating, yeah.
Killing these songs, leaving them bloody like Parustu. And I'm in it to win it, so I'm somebody that you should get used to.